This is RTV6 News at 11, working for you.
New at 11, growing pains for Washington Township schools. The district is running out of space for students, staff, buildings, and buses on its campus at 86th and Westfield. RTV6's Cameron Riddle is working for you with a look at the possible solutions to Washington Township's growing problem and why Northside residents are not impressed by the proposed solutions.
The game of soccer isn't the only fight happening on this Northside soccer field. Its next big battle could be over. What replaces it?
I moved here from Chicago. I've lived by New York City, and one thing I love about Indianapolis is there was some green space, and it feels like everyone who's in charge is saying, hey, green space just means dollars, and I think that is horrible.
That green space that Rob Johansson loves so much is owned by Washington Township Schools, and up until recently was the proposed site for a new operations and transportation center, a central location to house the district's buses. But after pushback from area residents, the district is now planning to relocate Northview Middle School from its current location at 86th and Westfield to a new building on what is now that soccer field.
We've always bought properties, this is our third home, adjacent to good schools. That's the reason why we chose this location.
Addie Jane Haynes's two now adult sons graduated from North Central High School, one of the 4 Washington Township buildings sitting literally in their backyard, including the current Northview Middle School and the current bus yard. But that campus is out of space, and now something has to go.
What I don't see the value in is losing an asset like the middle school and the activities and the campus environment that we have for a transportation hub. That is not an equal switch out.
If the middle school is moved to 91st and College, the district will then have room to keep all of its 145 buses in the same place. But Haynes says the last thing she wants is more buses in her backyard.
And each time they back up, they beep, beep, tweet, tweet. I don't need an alarm clock. I do not use an alarm clock because of that. And we're going to incur all of it because buses will be rolling out of this location, all points east and west, all day, all evening, and weekends.
Working for you in Indianapolis, Cameron Riddle, RTV6.
And much of the school district's pushback is coming from the Northside Community Council, which told RTV6 it will go as far as taking the district to court to keep buses away from the current green space at 91st and College. This morning, we asked the Washington Township School District for price comparisons for building a new bus lot versus building a new school. So far, we have not heard back. All Eastern Hancock schools will be closed tomorrow due to something the district superintendent says he's never seen in his 41 years with the school system. So many students called in sick today. Superintendent David Pfaff says officials reached a point where they had to close the high school, middle, and elementary schools. Reported illnesses include the flu, strep throat, and bronchitis. Pfaff stresses this is not a coronavirus outbreak. Crews are deep cleaning all classrooms, common areas, and buses. Tomorrow will be an e-learning day. The district has not yet made a decision about Friday. And staying safe from viruses has been a big concern for many as we keep track of the global COVID-19 outbreak. But doctors have told us the flu is still a big concern this year and can also be deadly. RTV6's Cornelius Hawker learned urgent care clinics are seeing as many flu cases as they did back in December, one of the typical peaks of flu season.
Today, out of all the patients I've seen, I'd say about 75 to 80% have been influenza.
Family nurse practitioner Suzanne Bachman on the recent surge of flu cases she's seen.
You can't let your guard down. Influenza's out there, and the fact that it does spread through respiratory droplets, it's very contagious.
Many of the people she's treating are college students.
They're coming in, roommates, and it's spreading like wildfire.
We try to stay away from them. Like, if my roommate's sick, I'll be like, with the lights off.
IUPUI junior Jada Ray knows it's hard to avoid people who might be sick, especially on a college campus. She tells me students need to know it's okay to take time off from class to get better.
If you are too sick to come to class, just don't come. You can always send your professor an email.
Usually trying to pinpoint when symptoms actually started is key, and then usually keeping them out about 5 days after to be sure that they're non-contagious.
Suzanne knows missing 5 days of school or work is a lot, but says that is the most responsible thing to do for everyone's health.
If we are positive for influenza, staying home, doing adequate hand washing, and really remaining out of public places.
Working for you, Cornelius Hawker, RTV6.
And just this week, the Marion County Public Health Department asked people with mild flu-like symptoms to not go to emergency rooms because so many people are coming in with influenza. You are urged to go to an urgent care clinic or your family doctor first. You can find the signs and symptoms of the flu on our website and in the RTV6 app. And there are still no confirmed cases of coronavirus in Indiana. A funding bill to fight the outbreak could be ready for President Trump's signature by tomorrow. Today, the House passed an $8.3 billion measure. It would help fast-track the development of vaccines and pay for containment operations. The Senate plans to vote on it tomorrow. There are 11 confirmed deaths in the U.S. related to the virus. Vice President Mike Pence says there are now more than 1.5 million coronavirus tests available at hospitals across the country.
Thanks to the good work of the FDA and Dr. Steve Hahn, who's with me here today, now all state laboratories, all university laboratories at the state level can conduct coronavirus tests without any additional assets or resources from the federal government. They have the FDA-approved test. They can conduct the test all across the country in all the states.
And one of the coronavirus fatalities is in California. The rest are in Washington state. You can find extensive coverage of the coronavirus, including how to protect yourself and the latest on the outbreak in a special section on our website, theindychannel.com/coronavirus. Now to the forecast. The mild start to March continues. Storm Team 6 Chief Meteorologist Kevin Gregory joins us now. The sunshine was nice, a little windy, but still not too bad for March, Kevin.
And we'll hold on to that wind, and we'll hold on to the mild temperatures for one more day, then a brief interruption to that pattern. It's 35 in Fishers, one of the cool spots, 36 in Greenwood. Temperatures overnight tonight will drop into the upper 20s to lower 30s in much of central Indiana. Thought I'd show you this. It's been a while since we've seen calm winds. Had gusts at 37 today, 42 yesterday. Tomorrow will be windy as well. First thing in the morning, around 33 in the metro area, a dry start. Temperature by noon at 49. Afternoon, high temperature 55. The chance for a shower just 20%. Here are other temperatures across all of central Indiana. Enjoy that warmth. We'll talk about it disappearing briefly coming up.
And new at 11, Indianapolis Animal Care Services is asking for information after animal advocates found a dead dog whose body had been mutilated. Sunday evening, animal care officers were called to 21st and Dearborn Street on the east side after workers with the group Friends of Indianapolis Dogs Outside found the male black and white pit bull mix. Its body was dumped near railroad tracks. Anyone with information is asked to call Crime Stoppers at 317-262-TIPS. And working for you, RTV6 is getting answers for neighbors who reached out to us about this issue here. People who live on Shirey Road in Muncie say a nearby business owner pumps water onto the road. Joanne and Dwight Grossman, who live next door to Bainey Excavating Construction, say this has been happening for at least 2 years. The couple says it's dangerous.
Well, when the road freezes, it becomes a solid sheet of ice. And so we have school buses, we have commuters, we have students driving, and you can't stop.
I'm always afraid I'm going to hydroplane or somebody else is going to hydroplane to somebody's yard, trees, whatever. And it's just not a safe situation for anybody to go down through there.
The owner of the company did not want to talk on camera, but he tells RTV6 he has to pump water out of a gravel pit or else it floods the garage where he keeps his tools. He also says he is planning to start construction on a new building on the property, which would eliminate the problem. We also reached out to Muncie officials about the issue. The city's engineer says he's talked to both sides and is working to identify and develop a resolution. If you have a problem and need help getting answers or action, contact us at workingforyou@rtv6.com. Indy Parks hopes to start construction on a new facility in Broad Ripple in the next few months, despite protests from some neighbors. Today, the city approved a zoning change to allow a new family center and health clinic at Broad Ripple Park. The current family center will be torn down and replaced. The new facility is a partnership between the Parks Department and Community Health Network. Before today's vote, members of the group Friends of Broad Ripple Park spoke against the plan, but other neighborhood leaders say that group does not speak for the whole community.
We believe the current family center is perfectly adequate. Community Health Network currently has a doctor's office at 1095 Broad Ripple Avenue. They want to expand. Fine, expand, but not in our park. There is a plethora of available spaces in Broad Ripple, Glendale area.
I just want to reiterate there is broad-based community support for this project. I'm intimately aware, as you are, about the very limited funding that our Parks Department gets. I think the entire budget for capital improvements last year was south of $5 million. And none of that would go to Broad Ripple Park.
Indy Parks leaders say the partnership is helping fund the $19 million project. And tomorrow, the Girl Scouts will make giving blood a little sweeter for donors. People who donate at Versity Blood Center locations in Indianapolis, Fishers, Carmel, Greenwood, and Lafayette will get a complimentary box of Thin Mints. You can make appointments online or by calling 317-916-5150. Walk-ins are also welcome. Brett?
It's a Lawrence Township sectional showdown with a result that few could have expected. I'm Brad Brown with a midweek edition of Hoosier Hoop Hysteria coming up on the News at 11.
And gaining strength through the kindness of strangers, how the Tennessee community is coming together after a string of deadly tornadoes devastated part of the state. You're watching RTV6 News at 11.
Prices at Ross. Yes, for less.
This is RTV6 News at 11, working for you.
Thousands of people in Tennessee still do not have power tonight after Tuesday morning's tornadoes. At least 6 tornadoes swept through the Nashville area and 1 touched down in Putnam County, killing at least 24 people. The governor has declared a state of emergency. RTV6's Alyssa Donovan is in Nashville and found the devastation is bringing the community together.
Cleanup efforts have come to an end on day 2 of tornado aftermath here in Nashville and Middle Tennessee. And you can see behind me, while progress has been made, there's still a lot of work to be done. Homeowners say they are grateful for the outpouring of support.
This is my grandparents. Both of them have passed away. I thought it was all gone. I thought it was all gone, like there was nothing.
Camellia Mays shocked at what has been found beneath the wreckage of her home here in the Stanford Estates neighborhood.
These were from their wedding.
A volunteer discovering unbroken glassware from her wedding day.
And it's completely intact. That's amazing. And it was underneath all the debris.
One of many finds on the second day of cleanup.
See that sign over there? He pulled that out of the rubble and stood there, and the Red Cross took a picture of him. Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid or discouraged, for the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go.
The message can be seen in many forms across Donaldson, like the American flag atop Gilbert Bower's childhood home.
Some of the builders who were helping with clearing things out, they just got up there and put the flag up to give people hope and, encourage people.
His father was home when the tornado came through, but he's okay. Like many, they're trying to salvage what they can. And while they found some items worth saving, they feel the same as their neighbors.
It doesn't matter. None of it matters. It's all, we're alive, we're safe, we can get all of this back.
And that American flag still on top of that home in the middle of this neighborhood, which is expected to be filled once again tomorrow morning with dozens of volunteers. I'm Alyssa Donovan reporting.
Alyssa, thank you for that. And Metro Nashville schools are closed for the rest of the week, and 2 schools in Wilson County, Tennessee are shut down for the rest of the school year. The district says the buildings are damaged beyond repair. A plan to relocate students will be announced in the coming days. And what we were just talking about while Alyssa's story was airing was just how devastating it is for people
I think
there.
we watch it on TV, and there's just no way for the emotion to come through to us watching this, just to feel that sense of sadness and loss. Cookeville, which is east of Nashville by about 80 miles, they confirmed an EF4 tornado there, 175-mile-per-hour winds. That's where there were 18 fatalities. And you're talking about the rarest of rare. I mean, the 1% of tornadoes, those EF4 and EF5, they're still not done with assessing how many tornadoes and whether there were just a couple long track tornadoes as well. Temperatures here, spring-like, certainly. And as we head toward the weekend, we'll see a big jump. Friday's going to be our cool day. I'll define that and give you more details in a second. We bounce back quickly, though. Saturday, 50 degrees. Sunday's temperature up to 60, and we remain dry through the weekend. Other thing that will change over the weekend, your clock. As you go to bed Saturday night into Sunday morning, move it ahead, spring forward 1 hour. Next week, that sun will be with us later into the evening. 55 tomorrow, then the big change. And like so often has happened recently, we'll see the temperature drop, but it just doesn't stay down very long. Temperatures will come back up over the weekend, and looking beyond the 7-day forecast, all indications are for the next couple of weeks, temperatures will average well above average, putting us in the 50s quite often. Temperatures tomorrow, 55 for the afternoon high. The wind out of the southwest, these are the wind speeds. The wind gusts will climb into the mid-20s again. We're kind of used to that pattern, and Friday will be windy as well. It will just be a cold wind. Temperatures around the area tomorrow with just a slight chance of an afternoon shower, all in the 50s. There's your strong southwest wind. It's a warmer wind, and that boosts our temperature. 11 o'clock Thursday night into Friday morning, could have a couple of sprinkles, maybe even a couple of flurries in northeast Indiana with a quick passing weather system. Then it's all about the colder temperatures for about 36 hours. That northwest wind will gust over 30 miles per hour. Temperatures stay in the 30s for highs, but it'll feel much colder than that during the day on Friday. You'll need a heavy coat for sure. We'll see a mixture of clouds and sunshine through the day. Friday, high temperatures to the south will struggle, but may hit 40 degrees. The change Sunday, we jump obviously 10 degrees to 60, but the clouds increase Sunday night, leading to rain returning. This is kind of how the rain overspreads central Indiana and most of the state, actually, as we get to Monday. Temperatures are still mild with that rain early next week. High temperature on Monday, 57, rain likely. Tuesday, rain chance diminishes a bit. Temperature a little cooler as well. On Wednesday, 45 for the high. But as I mentioned, beyond what you see there, for the 7-day forecast, more mild temperatures.
I mean, this weekend, we'll take
Nice,
it.
yeah.
It is great. Hey, Dave.
Was that the excitement face I saw there? Yes? Yes.
Yeah.
I like it. Hey, good evening. Not that really it's a sure thing, but generally speaking, the 20-win mark is where you want to be. For any shot at the NCAA tournament, IU with a shot at getting there this week with 18 wins, 2 games left. Hosting Minnesota tonight, and who they just beat by 12 a few weeks ago. It came really down to this in the second half. Former Southport star Joey Brunk watched the left-handed take and won. Brunk out of the slump. He had 12 points, 8 boards. Al Durham, nice pass to Trace Jackson Davis for the flush, left-handed. He had a team high 18. This is all a part of a 9-1 run, and then Durham with the take and one. You could hear Don Fisher from Kokomo. The 5 starters in double figures. IU gets it done 72-67. They host Wisconsin on Saturday. Meantime, senior night at Butler. Dogs hosting St. John's. And for the sentimentalist, Tripp's last game. Blue 3 with his final run. Blue 4 set to take over. Michael Kaltmark on hand. A lot of memories for both. Quite a night at Hinkle. To the game then. St. John's led by 1 at the break. It all turned here. The senior, Sean McDermott, pump fake in the 3. Team high 16 points, 14 boards. Quickly followed by Aaron Thompson. Drives down the lane. 9-0 run. AT at 13. Butler with their 21st win of the season. 77-55. High school hoop sectionals rolling along. Hoosier Hoop Hysteria here on RTV6. And one of the best matchups in the entire tournament comes in round 1. Brad Brown with Lawrence Central and Lawrence North.
It was the third showdown of the season between the township rivals. The Wildcats won both during the regular season and the county tourney finals. Tonight saw the Bears get the early edge. Tate Davis knocks down 3 from the corner for a 1-point lead, but Lawrence North would put together an amazing run after that. Shamar A. Vance with the alley-oop to Tony Perkins. LN was suddenly up by 10. They would score 26 consecutive in one stretch. Dorian Hatton opened the second quarter with a 3 as the lead went to 19. Vance would later get loose on the baseline for another jam. He scored 18 in the first half, and after the dust settled, it was a 29-2 run for LN. They had a 25-point halftime lead. The second half simply taking care of business. Central cut it to 10 in the final minute, but the Wildcats are moving on with the 68-57 win as they sweep all 3 of the season series.
They were ready, weren't they? They really came out with a vengeance. We couldn't keep that up. I understand that. You knew they'd come back. Our kids played so well, and they managed the time better.
I think the first 2 games, people just, they didn't think, they thought they were the better team, just thought like, you know what I mean, they were the better team, so we just came out and we wore that on our jersey the whole night.
These 3 straight wins over LC for LN came after 6 straight losses to the Bears. Their tourney trail is by no means going to get any easier when they get set for a game coming up on Friday night. At Lawrence Central, Brad Brown, Hoosier Hoop Hysteria.
And how about that game? Game 1 at LC Cathedral and Crispus Attucks. Look at the line to get into LC. This is an hour before the game. Tigers coming back from 12 points down at half. Sincere McMahon hits the 3 to give Attucks the lead. He scored a game-high 28. 3 seconds to go. Irish down 3. Last chance. Vincent Brady to send it to overtime. Does not go. Attucks advances. They'll face LN in Friday's semis. All right, finally tonight, first and foremost, a huge game on ESPN. Bucks, Pacers, top team in the East. Malcolm Brogdon leaving with a sore hip. Only played 11 minutes, and there you go. Giannis Antetokounmpo getting it started. Bucks up 22 in the first quarter. Give the Pacers credit, though. They answered here. Doug McDermott with the 3-ball and 1. He had 16 off the bench. Pacers only down 2, though, at the break. And too much for Milwaukee after that. Domas, bad pass. Antetokounmpo, another dunk. He had a game-high 29. Pacers lose 119-100. The roadie continues at Chicago Friday night. Emotional night at Hinkle. Tripp says goodbye.
No.
It's okay.
He'll be in the community. He's not going anywhere.
He's still loved by all of us.
Right.
All right. Well, coming up, no degree, no problem. How an international company based Monroe County is providing opportunities that one employee calls life-changing.
Call 1-800-CALL-KEN.
Welcome back. A Bloomington-based company is going above and beyond to support and retain employees. Nicole Natalie works at Cook Medical as an inspector full-time, but not long ago, this single mother was trying to get her high school diploma without much success. Then she heard about the My Cook Pathway program. Participants get paid to work for Cook while earning a degree, then are hired to full-time positions. The program has helped more than 200 people earn their diploma since its launch about 2 years ago.
It's a lifesaver, honestly. If it wasn't for My Cook Pathway, I don't know where I would be. I know I wouldn't have my diploma. I know I wouldn't have this job. I wouldn't have my home. It saved my life, honestly, and it made it to where I can better take care of my children.
Cook Medical tells RTV6 the Pathway program is cost-effective for the company, and it creates a loyal employee base, and that has a positive impact on their work culture. For more info about the program, go to hiringhoosiers.com and click on this story. We'll be right back.
Furniture and Mattress Store, Ashley Home Store.
Enjoy another mild day, another windy day. It will take a while for the winds to get whipped up. We start in the lower 30s quickly. By late morning, we're at 45, 55 the magic number. As you look at the 7-day forecast, there's just one setback. That's Friday, 38. It will feel colder with that cold wind, but 60 Sunday and dry. I'm going to start the lawnmower again just to make sure it's ready to go.
Start planning. There's so many things.
Yeah.
Sunshine
Maybe even
too.
the weed eater.
And even more sunshine on Sunday. It's going to be great. Good night.